Russia is considering whether to follow the U.S. and its allies in conducting airstrikes against Islamic State's targets, President Vladimir Putin says. Mr. Putin spoke after meeting Barack Obama on the sidelines of the General Assembly UNGA. But the meeting, and the leaders' speeches at the UNGA, also highlighted splits about how to end the Syrian war. Russia said it would be an enormous mistake not to work with Syria's President Bashar al-Assad to tackle Ireland. On Monday, the US and France again insisted that President Assad must go. But in response, Mr. Putin said, they aren't citizens of Syria and so should not be involved in choosing the leadership of another country. Russia would conduct airstrikes only if they were approved by the United Nations, he said, while also ruling out Russian troops taking part in a ground operation in Syria. The two leaders met for 90 minutes on the sidelines of the UNGA in talks that Mr. Putin called very constructive, businesslike and frank. It was their first face-to-face meeting in almost a year, with the Ukraine war also on the agenda. The senior U.S. government official said neither president was seeking to score points in the talks. Both sides agreed to open lines of communication to avoid accidental military conflict in the region, the official added. In his speech to the UNGA, Mr. Obama said compromise among powers would be essential to ending the Syrian conflict, which has claimed more than 200,000 lives and forced 4 million people to flee abroad. The U.S. is prepared to work with any nation, including Russia and Iran, to resolve the conflict, he said. But we must recognize that there cannot be, after so much bloodshed, so much carnage, the return to the pre-war status quo. But Mr. Putin said it was an enormous mistake to refuse to cooperate with the Syrian government and its armed forces who are valiantly fighting terrorism face to face.